Happy Wednesday. Today we have a very special guest for this live, Mike. His name is Mike. He is so awesome. He's one of those people that has such a good energy. And let me see, is he here? Hi, Mike. I want to send you that request. Give me 1 second and I'll invite Mike on. Mike is a life and a mindset coach. He just got certified, so I'm excited to hear and learn from him. I know him for a couple of years. Oh, there you go. Hey, Mike.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for making the time, first of all, for doing this live. I'm so excited to hear and learn from you.
Thank you for having me. I'm excited to be part of this. I appreciate you putting it on.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about yourself. So first of all, me and Mike met a couple of years ago. We used to work together for a corporate job, and then you just become a certified life and mindset coach.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit why you decided to go that route. I'm curious myself. So
yeah,
tell us.
So I was one of those kids that knew when I was little I wanted to do marketing. Which has nothing to do with life coaching. So when I was 14, 15, 16, I wanted to do marketing. I was excited. That's what I wanted my career to be. I went to college for advertising. I got an MBA in marketing. I worked about 13 years total doing marketing in for different companies and different realms. And I had some fun doing it, but I think choosing what I wanted to do that young, I chose just an option instead of what I really wanted to do. We all do the path that everyone kind of says that we should, or most of us do, and go to school, get a good job, all the things that we should do, right? But after doing it for a while, I had some great jobs. Like when we worked together, it was fantastic. I had others that should have been great, or I thought would be great, but turned out not to be as good as I thought they would be. They weren't really fulfilling. So over the last few years, I've kind of thought about what would really make me happy in all aspects of life. What would I really enjoy doing instead of just kind of helping someone else or making someone else money, helping their business anyway. And I really liked helping people. I've always enjoyed that. And like everyone, I've gone through some things, personally, some hard times, some losses, things like that. And the one thing that always helped me, if I was able to keep it on track, is my mindset. If I had a positive and grateful mindset and I was able to, kind of stay focused on the good aspects of life instead of all these terrible things that are happening or situations that maybe weren't that bad that we think are worse than they are. If I was able to keep a good mindset, I did a lot better. So in thinking about what I wanted to do, I thought, I really want to help people, and how can I do that? And I was having conversations with friends about mindset and about being happier and more positive and grateful and things like that. And life coaching had kind of been a thing that popped up, but I didn't know much about it. So I looked into it and I decided just to dive right in. I got a certification and I started working on a bigger 6-month, pretty intensive certification. And that was around February, March. Now I'm dually certified. Thank you. And yeah, kind of a long story, but that's
No, I love it. I love it. Thank you for sharing. I love it because there's a saying in Spanish. It's so hard to translate my Spanish to English, but kind of saying like sometimes our worst enemy can be ourselves. Yes. Because of our mind, right? So we sabotage ourselves on just our mind. And this is one of the things that I'm always going to bring it back to fitness, right? Because it's my passion. But people think that fitness is just physically, but it also helps with your mindset. Like the way that it helps you to be resilient, to keep on going, to push yourself to do things when you don't feel like doing them, it all comes from that mindset, right? And especially when we starting our journey, like you said, we have all this negative or positive thoughts. So that kind of redirect us in what kind of like route we want to take. If we keep saying to ourselves, no, I cannot do this, that's too hard, oh my god, I don't feel like it today, I'm tired, like just, you know, like it's one thing, it's like piling one negative thing up to another one. Would you agree?
Absolutely. 100%. I just did a video within the last couple weeks about how your mindset has to be stronger than your feelings. And what I mean by that, and a lot of people say it, there's a lot of people in the personal development space that say it. I think it was the old performance coach for Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan talked about it. And basically, you don't want to get out of bed and work out. I mean, even if we love working out, sometimes we don't want to do it. We don't want to eat healthy. We want, you know, junk food instead of vegetables for most of the time, you know, until you train yourself that feels better and you get the reward from it. But if we feel like we wait until we feel like we want to, we might never start. So you have to just do it. You have to know that the result is going to come, and what you want is more important than you're feeling right now.
Yeah, and that applies, I feel like, for everything. It not necessarily applies for fitness, but it applies for every area of our lives. This is why I love so much. If you think about any speaker out there, right? If you see any good speaker on social media or in person, if you go to events or whatever, every time they do a reference back into a fitness. Why? Because whatever you get to learn on the road, you can apply to just all areas of your life, right? If we let our emotions come in through, then we will never do pretty much nothing. We will not go for that career that we've been wanting to do, or we might not do that certification that we've been wanting to do for a long time, but we haven't got it done because, you know, we do all of this sabotaging. What would you say to people, or what would be like a tip and trick that people can try to get out of that mindset?
Oh man, there's so many, so I'm trying to think of one kind of easy, helpful one. I think, and you liked this when you saw it, but I think a lot of times we get in our own way. So we want one thing, but we act another way. So, you know, maybe we want to lose 5 pounds, but our actions don't match that. Well, why not? Are we really acting the way that we want to do it? So it's kind of a whole lifestyle. And I know that you talk about this. It's not just working out. It's not just fitness. It's a lifestyle. You have to live the life that you want. And that's part of it. It starts with your minds of, what do I want more? Do I want to be healthier and have more energy and be happier and more excited? Or do I want the instant gratification and the taste that feels good right now? So, you know, what do you really want? And what you're doing doesn't match with that.
Yeah. I guess doing that, what would you say, like self, like awareness. This is one of the things why I love journaling. And this is one of the things why I created a journal myself, because it was something so helpful for me, but I feel like it could be helpful for other people. And that includes in all areas as well, right?
Yeah.
Like just dumping our feelings and getting out of the way, and then help us like actually write it down and then read it, visualize it, and be like, oh shoot, like this is like, now I see how I feel. Now I can be aware of, like, I am sabotaging myself. I said I was going to make this commitment. I said on Monday I start, and then I didn't start ourselves. So I feel like that piling too of not doing what we say we're going to do, our confidence comes down, and that self-belief in ourselves like comes down.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with journaling, the same works with affirmations and gratitude too. Just being grateful just for the little things. And you might feel silly at first, you know, I'm grateful for the sunshine. I'm grateful I woke up. It might seem silly, but once you start to do it, it's just like being healthy in fitness. You start that process of consistency, and then you get used to it. And then maybe you only have one thing to be grateful for at first, or two, but then they start coming and more. And you just get in that pattern. And the same with affirmations. That's why affirmations can be so helpful, because at first you're thinking, you know, maybe I believe in this. And then after a while, you start to believe it, you start to feel it, and it becomes very powerful. With journaling too, a lot of times we're in the moments and we feel a certain way. And this can even apply to work. Maybe you're mad at someone and you write an angry email and then you just let it sit for a little bit and you come back at it. You look at it again and you think, you know, I don't really care that much, or I care, but I don't care.
For my last email, yes. I said,
yes. Yeah. Right? Do I need to say it that way, or am I just upset? And, you know, it helps get everything out. So not only is it a reminder, it helps you stay consistent, but it helps you release too. And we all need that.
Yes, 100%. See, this is why I added those two important things, gratitude and affirmations, into my journal.
Yes.
Because like being grateful for what we have, I feel like it said, because sometimes we're like, oh, everything is going wrong. Like, why is this happening to me? You know, I'm not even having a good day. Like, I have nothing. Like we start going into this like rambling in our head, and we actually get to write it down. Actually, I'm pretty grateful that I woke up today and I'm actually very healthy. I'm grateful for my family that, you know, and we start writing it down and seeing, and then automatically, like, I feel like our mood starts changing. This is why I love to do it in the morning, because it kind of sets the tone for the rest of the day. Like writing down, this is what I have. I am grateful. Thank God, if you believe in God or the universe or whatever your beliefs are, right? Like granting it, I think is such a, I don't understand, but it's such a powerful thing of just writing it down, maybe reading it aloud.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, and it's again the mindset. It shifts your focus to I have to do this, to I get to do this, I want to do this. The fact that we can eat healthy or go do a fitness activity or take care of ourselves, I mean, we're pretty lucky that we have that option. There's a lot of people that don't, or maybe have physical limitations and can't do some of these things. And a lot of us are over here thinking, man, I have to go work out today. Well, you don't have to. You get to. It's a privilege.
Yeah, and it's for physical. I mean, I did lots of, I mean, I was very fortunate to did a lot of traveling on my previous job, and I met a lot of people. So why am I saying it? Because even for traveling, like think about going to another country. You want to go out there and be a tourist. You want to go out there, you walk a lot, you climb. I remember, and I met lots of people, Mike, from different ages. And I remember just seeing some people being very young, complaining that their knees hurt, complaining that they get tired so fast, complaining that, you know, they're out of breath, and they're young. And it was like, it actually put a lot of things in my perspective, and say to myself, I'm so grateful I get to move and I get to do this when I'm back at home, because it's not only like how you're physically doing it at the gym, but outside of the gym, right? Not like even when you're traveling, when you're moving around, when you go to the groceries, maybe if you're volunteering at your school, at the school from your kids, like at anything like that requires like physical strength.
Yes. Yeah. And those moments when you don't have it, that really makes you grateful for the times that you did. You know, during the whole pandemic stuff, I had a little bit of an issue and I wasn't able to physically do some things that I could do before. And in those moments, I appreciated things that I dreaded before. So I played baseball my entire life. I still kind of play for fun. It's competitive still, but it's, you know, for fun. It's not anything serious. I just didn't really enjoy it anymore for different reasons. And that was my own stuff I had to figure out and work out. But when I couldn't do basic things, I really wanted to play baseball. Let me tell you, it's
like, that's true. When we were in pandemic, like it set up, like, oh, we were like, oh shit, like now the gyms are closed, like now we got to figure it out. What are we gonna do? But I love to see that, because I feel like as a humans, when we don't know the answer, we figure it out. We just get it done. Just take that first step. Do that first thing. And I feel like that after that, it would just create that effect. One thing will lead you to another thing. I wanted to ask you, how is it, how are you like, what does a life coach do?
Yeah.
Like, how do you help people? Because I feel like it's so awesome to see how everybody has been growing, especially now with social media. We get to see it at firsthand. How we can actually hire somebody for a specific different things, right? If I want to become better at social media, I can go hire a coach that could help me get some of that engagement that I want. Or if I want something like that accountability, I'm going to go hire probably you, Mike. Like, what is it that you help your clients with?
Yeah. So a coach is really a partner, and it helps with so many things. You mentioned accountability. That's a huge part of that, but and awareness is a big part too. A lot of times we don't understand or really fully see what we're doing because, again, we're in it. So what a coach is kind of like a mirror. So if you're, explaining what's going on and what you're struggling with, you might not see other things that impact it or the solution or anything, that's maybe making it harder for you because you're in it. You're used to it. It's your everyday. But when I see it and I kind of repeat it back to you and ask the questions of, hey, have you done this? Have you thought about this? The goal is to have that kind of aha moment of, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Maybe I could go this route. So it's not so much giving the answers or a mentor or here's a set plan. It's working together and it's individualized, especially with myself and my clients. Where is your life at? What are you trying to do? Let's look at everything and see how maybe, a factor plays into something else. So I had one client that was trying to find a new job or career path or trying to figure that out. But the root cause of that was really health and taking care of themselves and physical activity. And we realized that they maybe didn't have the energy to dedicate to their current job or to search for a new one because they weren't taking care of themselves. So then we worked together. We created a plan. I can't say, here's what you should do. You need to go to the gym 5 times a day and eat this way. And but because maybe that wouldn't work for them and they would fail. But they told me what they like to do. We worked together to create that plan to do that. And they're more active in a way that's comfortable with them. And now they're doing great in their career. So it just came full circle. So that's a little example of what I do, but it's a lot of awareness, accountability, looking at things from a different perspective. I dive into the mindset a lot of, I think this way about a situation. Well, why? And should you think that way? Should you not? It's not my belief. It's what they come up with. So it's a lot of guiding, I would say. It's a partner in the journey of getting where they want to be.
I love it. A partnership.
Yes.
I love it. You said something important. You said awareness. Yeah. And I feel like that's really important, especially because you said, like, we're so in it sometimes and become aware of ourselves. I think it's such a hard job. And as time passes, I feel like we evolve and we change and time changes and things around us change. Like, there's always things happening around us. So being able to dig a little deeper for yourself and become awareness is the same thing, like kind of on my side, right? Like for fitness, or if you need somebody to guide you and instruct, like help you, what do you eat and everything. Not everything fits for everybody, of course, right? And this is why having a coach like one-on-one, it's great because you get to identify and bring that awareness of like, oh, that's right, I didn't think about it that way. Great question. And then it's like the little ball, yeah. Right? It starts in the air. So creating awareness for ourselves, first of all, I think it's very hard to do. I feel like even though it's ourselves, some people don't really get to know themselves. It's the same thing, right? When you're working out, some movements will work for you, but some other movements will not work for other people, or because what? Their anatomy, their mobility, like do they have experience working out? Do they not have experience working out? Maybe they like this, maybe they don't like it. Like, there's a lot of factors that go into that awareness, and then into you bring somebody else to kind of help you and ask the right questions. It's when you're like, it's like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, there's ways to go about awareness. You can do it the hard part, like trying to work out or a movement and, ooh, this hurts. This doesn't feel good. This isn't for me. Or there's really getting to know yourself. And I think that helps in all aspects of life.
Yes.
Obviously just, with your mindset and with health and fitness too. If your body doesn't respond well to certain foods, maybe don't eat those foods,
Yeah.
If you're not someone that can wake up in the morning, or at least at this point in time at 4 a.m. and work out, you're probably setting yourself up for failure if you're trying to work out at 4 a.m. So learning yourself, learning what you want, learning your limitations is part of awareness too. Why can't you wake up at 4 a.m? Is it because you don't feel like it? Is it because you haven't done it before? Because, I think all of us can do a lot more than we think we can. We just have to learn and be aware of what we can and can't and why not, and then work through it after.
Yes. It's right. Karina's right. She's like, teamwork makes the
Yeah.
dream work. Yes. And that's basically what it is when you hire a coach. You're supposed to be, and it's so funny because I just remember that the other day of one of my friends told me, I feel like finding a coach is like dating. Because it's like, you got to find the right one. And it's true.
Yeah.
Like, the amazing thing about hiring a coach in every aspect is that you are paying to save all of those error and trials of what they have experience on, right? It doesn't matter what field it is. Like, you save that time and you come in and you get it just like work. You have the accountability that a lot of people need. Sometimes I need it myself. I want to hire a coach for all areas of my life. I wish I could have somebody there like, hey, Karen, did you got it done? Did you get this done? Did you did that? Did you did this? So accountability is amazing for us as humans. I feel like we always need that. Having a partnership with your coach is also very important in getting to know each other. It's so amazing to see how the world has been evolving, and you can just hire somebody to do like a little shortcut and avoid some of those mistakes that already somebody has experience on.
Yeah. We can all do things ourselves, like I said before, but
100%
expensive or costly or take time in the trial and error. So I think you believe the same thing. We can do anything that we really want to, but a coach and the accountability helps make it easier, guide it, and it's like you said, it's kind of like a shortcut or a hack. It's kind
of like a shortcutter. Yeah. If you want to give somebody like a couple of tips that you can have in top of your mind, or something that they want to, like, what is one activity or one action that people can start changing, even if they want to just like do something? It doesn't matter what it is. Like, if they're trying to change their career or they want to start their fitness journey, what is something that could like kind of like click, or what is the right questions to ask? Maybe like in order for them to be like, oh, you know what, I think this is the time for me to actually take action and do something about it.
Yeah. So one big takeaway I got, one of the certifications was through Jay Shetty. So he had the whole 6-month intensive certification program, and he is an amazing individual and shared a lot of knowledge. And one of the things that he shared when you're kind of choosing a goal, when you're choosing a big goal, is an acronym called WHY. So the W is what happens if I don't reach this goal. The H is how does my life change if I do? And then the Y is just why does it matter to me? And if we're looking at goals, if it's, fitness goals or a job change or even a relationship, you can apply this to pretty much anything. What happens if you don't make that change? If there's no change, then, is it really a goal that you're looking to? If your life doesn't change, if you don't accomplish it, then maybe it's not the big goal that you think it is. How does your life change if you do? Is it a significant change? Is your life that much better? Well, then maybe it's important to take a look at that. And then why does it matter? A good example of this is smoking. And I've heard a lot that people, try to quit smoking and they do all these different methods. But the people that I've talked to that quit smoking, it really matters to them that they quit smoking. And people don't really want to do things just because they should. Sometimes we do. But if it doesn't really matter to us, then are we going to be consistent with it? And again, that could be anything. That could be fitness related or habits or anything. So the why acronym is kind of a good starting point of why does this matter? How will it change if it happens or not? And is this really what I want?
I love that, because that's one of the questions that I also ask in my questionnaire for some of my clients, is like to dig a little deeper, like why is it important for you? When you got to find your motive, right? Like, for example, my motive was I want to give a better example. And it's funny because usually most of the time, or motivator or why, it comes from a third person. It doesn't come from us directly. Yeah. It comes from like, hey, I'm doing this for my kids. Like, I want to be able to give a better example to the kids. I want to change my kids' life differently than how my childhood was, right? I want them to be active because I wish I could have started earlier. And then if we grow up with that behavior, then it comes naturally once we get it as an adult. Yeah. So our why, it's like, I feel like it is very important. It's not because, oh, I want to look good. I'm giving the example of fitness or trying to work out, but, oh, I want to look good. But why do you want to look good? Mm-hmm. And I love that you break it down. Like, what will happen? I'm looking down because I was typing it in. What happens if you don't make the change, right? What happens if you still the same? How would your life still be? Would you still feel the same? No energy, low, like, and then what was the other one? How does your life will change if you make that, if you decide to do that? Yeah. So I guess picturing, I don't like it when I hear people picturing in your higher self. I don't feel like I like that very much, but I feel like picturing yourself how you want to look like. Yeah. What is it that you want to achieve, and then picturing yourself. Yeah. And then why does it matter to you? Why is it important?
Yeah. Visualization can be huge. It's just, you have to find with anything what's comfortable for you. You know, like you were mentioning, like religious, if you want to thank God for this or thank the universe or thank whatever you believe, find what works for you. You know, if you visualize your higher self doing it, great. If that's what you believe in, that's fantastic. If not, find a way that works for you, but the activity is still kind of the same. Yeah. Maybe you're pretending it's a movie and you're watching your life in a year or 6 months. You know, whatever works. Everyone's different and everyone has different ways to do the same things.
Whatever you feel like it moves you, then grab from there.
Yeah, exactly.
Would you say that?
Yeah. And like you talked about motivation originally starts from an external factor, but once you have that discipline and that consistency, then it starts to become a kind of an internal thing. Once you start small and have those little wins and those baby steps, then you get excited, then you get motivated because you see your progress. Again, with fitness or with anything. And then that motivation is still the external, but then you have your own internal too, and you're even more motivated.
Yeah, and that motivation also comes from doing the things you say you were going to do.
Yeah.
Like I said, if I said I'm gonna start the gym on Monday, even if I didn't get the best of the workouts, just by showing up, that is basically a win. If you say you were going and you got it done, then that automatically will bring you behavior, because motivation, it's not here always. Motivation is just, it's like any other emotion, right? Is you're happy, you're sad, and it's just temporary, and then it will fade away.
Yeah, 100%. And it goes back to your focus. There's a thing, so it's kind of popular, although I did the math and it didn't really work out, but I think we can still get the lesson from it. So it's the rule of 100. And basically, if you spend 100 hours in a year at anything, you're better than, I don't know, something like 10%, or you're in the top 10% of anything at the end of the year after those 100 hours. So the number that they give is kind of weird. It's about 16, 20 minutes a day, 8 to 10 hours a month. Whether that's true or not doesn't matter, because it's all about consistency and doing it and repeating the task. And if we do anything for 15, 20 minutes a day, we're going to be way better at it than we were a week ago, a month ago, a year ago. So however you feel about the rule of 100, you can still get the takeaway of consistency, and showing up and doing something will put you ahead of yourself or other people that don't.
Yeah, and it will put you ahead of yourself from what you were like last month or last year at the same time. I love that. Actually, Sassy is asking a really good question. It's like, Mike, how do you stay positive while working in a toxic environment?
Good to see you again. Yeah, we did a podcast. She's amazing. She's another coach that went through the same program with me. So staying healthy while working in toxic environments, it's all boundaries and it's all what you allow. There was a quote, I'm trying to think of it. It's something, if you live by the cheers, then you die by the booze. It's kind of a sports reference. But if you put so much and invest so much into what other people think and what other people feel and how they impact you, you're going to lose a little bit of yourself. So that is tough, but I think boundaries, staying in your own lane, just let them do whatever they're doing. Understand that it probably is not a reflection of you, it's a reflection of them. Even if they're mad at you, it's probably, maybe they spilled their coffee on themselves in the morning or something like that. And just making it through. If you're doing things for yourself that make you happy, that's, you're accomplishing what you want in that work day, it would be hard in a toxic environment, but it's not for them anyway. It's always for you. You have to do what you have to for the company, but it's for you at the end of the day.
And you said a key word, boundaries.
Yes.
Boundaries are very important when you're in a toxic environment. Yes. Because it's so easy to grab yourself around and also not taking things personally.
Yeah.
Because sometimes it's not, sometimes like their behavior or their attitude towards us is not really about us. It's about how their life is happening, what's happening behind the scenes. Yeah. We don't get to see.
Yeah. And also with that, like you said, setting an example, and that could be for, your kids, but you can set an example in the workplace too. It might turn into, why is that person always happy and fun to be around? And that's kind of annoying. So, I really like them. Maybe I want to talk to them a little bit more because I'm not like that. It rubs off, whether we're negative or positive. It has an impact on people around us. And being yourself and setting that example can help change that environment too.
Yeah, it's true. I love that. Being yourself an example on that environment. Yeah. Yes, I love that. Thank you so much. Does anybody has another question for Mike before we wrap it up? I've been loving this. This is so powerful. Thank you. Nice to see you again. I love it. Anything, where can people find you? Tell us your Instagram. I will definitely save this live and tag you on it just in case but people can find you. But tell us your Instagram, where they can find you. Are you taking online clients? What's happening with that?
Yeah, so my company, I started my own coaching company, and it is Reworking Mindsets because I'm mindset focused. It's reworkingmindsets.com or on any social platform at Reworking Mindsets /Reworking Mindsets. YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever you want to call that now, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm pretty much everywhere. I'm based in the Phoenix area. I do pretty much all remote clients through Zoom, and I am taking new clients. And my calendars are set up and up to date. So anytime that you try to book, that is a perfect time. I am free that time if it shows it. So yeah, the first step is basically a discovery call, and that's a free call. You set up a Zoom chat, or we can call, and we basically just talk. And what are you trying to do? And I tell you if I'm a good fit. And I mean, neither of us want to waste our time. So if we're not a good fit, I know hundreds of coaches that I can refer someone out to, or we'll just have a chat and see if it's a good fit. And if not, that's cool. If it is, awesome. And we can set a date and start working together. So,
I love it. Yeah. I love it. Yes. Like I said it's like a dating. So you guys get to chat a little bit. Hey, I like you. Do you like me? And then start working together.
Without the pressure, though.
Without no hard the pressure, yeah. And being yourself.
Exactly.
No, nothing of that. And then last one question, Mike. Can we always stay positive?
Oh, man. I don't think that we can always stay positive, but you can always go back to being positive. So whatever happens, it's impossible to think that everything's always good. But there's always something good that could come from that. And it's up to you how long you want to stay in the bad or not. Example, if someone cuts you off in traffic, and this is a personal hard one for me. Drivers gets me sometimes. But you can be mad for hours, or you can be mad for 5 seconds. And whatever you choose impacts your day, impacts the days of people that interact with you. So it's really up to you. So no, we can't always stay positive, but we can bounce right back if we train ourselves to.
Right. We cannot always control what happens to us, but we can always control how we react to things.
Exactly. And a big part of that's gratitude. And that's helped me. Someone cuts you off in traffic and you're not happy about it. Well, good thing they didn't hit me.
Yes. And bless you and bye. I don't want to see you again.
Yeah. Me too.
Well, thank you so much, Mike. This has been great. Thank you.
Thank you.
I will definitely tag you. Thank you for taking the time and to sharing some of your knowledge. I'm so excited for you on your new business.
Thank you.
I can't wait.
I appreciate you having me. I'm excited for you too. It's kind of coming full circle now from years ago when we worked together, and I love it.
I know, it's so crazy, huh? We've evolving. The thing is to follow what we feel like it's good for us, and what I feel like it brings us more happiness, like getting out of those environments that are no longer serving us into a better place. So I'm so happy seeing you thriving, and I can't wait to see all your journey coming up.
Thank you. And same for you. I love it. So I appreciate you having me, and we'll stay in touch. Maybe we'll do this again sometime.
Sounds good. Bye. Thank you so much. Thank you everybody for tuning in.
Thank you.